Hello and welcome to Yarra Library's Kids Creative Club. I'm Andrew from Richmond Library and I'll be taking you through a fun craft activity today. Yarra Libraries wishes to acknowledge that this recording was made on the traditional lands of the Wurundjeri Woiwurrung, pays tribute to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people in Yarra and gives respect to elders past, present and emerging. So what we're going to make today is a little bit of a cardboard tube craft. So there's lots of different ways that you can take this sort of craft, but the one that we're going to make today is a bit of a cardboard tube pet. So with this one, all you need is a cardboard tube, a marker, and a pencil. I'm using a pacer because it lets me sort of just spit out as much lead as I need. There we go. And it's what I had to hand. So what I'm going to do on this one, I've decided to make myself a cat. So there's a couple different ways that you can do that. And one of the ones that I like is to push its little ears together. So starting on top, shouldn't need an adult's help with this, but maybe you will. Just push down so that it starts to move in and fold to about halfway. Then on the other side, do the same thing. This time tuck your fingers in just to help them stay in shape. And a little bit more of a push. And you can sort of work those down into a bit of a cat's ear shape. Like so. Now, there's a couple different ways you can take this from here. One of them that you might like to do is to make some cuts down the bottom so that you get some legs and a tail. How that ends up looking is a little bit funny, but it's kind of cool. This one was another cardboard tube that was a bit squishier and easier to use. So you do one snip at the front and then turn it around, and you'll have to do two at the back so that you'll get your tail. So if we push it back up into its first shape, you'll see more clearly. Cut it into two on the back so you've got a tail, and then swing it to the sides and a snip there and a snip there. So that's one way, and you have a little bit more of a fold and a pleat, and it depends on how strong your cardboard is. If your cardboard's particularly thick like this little look might be a little bit difficult, but it's kind of cute, and you get little legs and a tail. You can also see that I made little cardboard stick-on eyes. That's because I wanted to try a bunch of different eyes and thought that this one looked a bit cool. So we can leave that little guy standing up. No, I won't play. So from here, we can try our first little go, where we would draw on our eyes in pencil so that we can decide if we like the look of them. So we do one oval and another oval. They're a little bit wonky, so I might like to rub one of them out. And trying again. Righto, I'm pretty happy with that. So we put the little irises in. Being a cat, they've got a nice little cat's eye iris. Another little oval inside the oval. Now to put their mouth on, we do one big upside down J, probably the right way up from your perspective. And then, starting halfway again, another little J. Up top, we can do a bit of a loop to make a nose. And if, like mine, yours is a bit cheeky, you can stick their tongue out. Dear me. Last but not least, we can do some whiskers. 3 seems to look pretty good. I like the one in the middle to be a bit longer than the other two. This creates a little sense of balance. And if you're happy with your cat at that point, you can go ahead and use your permanent marker. So there we go. Now my metallic marker looks really nice when you put it on as well. So I'll just do a little couple of highlights on this one. And just going back over any parts that you want to fill in again. So there's the little basis for our cat. So I quite like this one. The next little step you can do with them, if you've got some spare cardboard lying around, is you can make little paws for them. And that sort of looks a bit like this. You'd have a little go at popping it on the bottom like that and seeing where its feet are going to end, about how far out you'd like it to be. So you can draw a little bit of. From there, you can draw a little bit of a pencil mark just to help you figure it out. So you know where the edge of your tube's going to be. And then you can draw your feet on. Start a little bit further back, just to give yourself a little bit of room in case you need it. And that way, we can draw the front and back paws to show our cat sitting. It looks a little bit funny without the cat on top, but I'm happy with those, so I'm going to go over it now. And remember, because this part's going to be underneath, you can add plenty of extra ink so that it'll be under there. So we'll go. Have a little check. So that's one little way you might like to do it. Now another one you might like to do is get an adult or a big kid to help you out by chopping it in half. Because sometimes it can be nice to make a little mini one as well. So this one I'm actually going to turn into a bat. Because the bats have the same sort of pointy ears, we can play with that the same way. So we'll draw our little bat face on there. So there's a cheeky little bat face, depending on how you like to make them. So this little next part can be a bit tricky. So if you are making a small one, I should have said, do get it, if you're going to cut it, use a serrated knife and probably get an adult or a big kid to help you with that. If you do end up with some messy parts like this, that's fine. You can use a pair of scissors to just give it a little bit of a trim, just to neaten it up. There we go. Now, for the wings of the bat, it can be a little bit tricky to figure it out. This is where, if you're going up to this stage, you might like a bit of tacky glue or even PVA glue will do this really nicely, that once dried, so the wings don't come off too easily. So we've got our fun little bat face. And if we pop our little batty in the middle, we can sort of get an idea of how big we would need to draw the wings either side. So using our pencil, if we just rule a little line here, and then another little line here, it's going to tell us whereabouts we're not going to see the wings, where they would need to join the body. So from there, we might like to do a little bit of a stylized bat wing. So we'll do one big swoop over the top, and then some little down like that. So I'm not super happy with this one, so I'm going to go back in again. This is why we always do our first one in pencil, so we've got a chance to come back and patch it up if we don't like it. Starting from the wingtip will probably give me a better idea of where I'd like it to end. Yeah, there we go. Alrighty. So that's looking pretty good. I'm happy with that. So I'm going to go in and, with my permanent marker, trace over the ones I like. So there's that one. And once that's dry, we can do a little bit of a cut. You could leave it as a full-size one if you wanted as well. I just like the effect of it being all cut out. So there's our little wings, and I'm not going to spend the time to colour this one in, but obviously you can colour it in however you'd like. You could even make it out of a bit of textured paper. Maybe you could do some patterns on there. Anything that you like. Even make it look like a superhero if you like to. Give them a bit of a rub clean. And then just enough glue to hold it on the back. So this glue is particularly good because it's going to dry very strong. And before we finish that up, you might like to just go over the edges. Any places where you cut too close to the black line or not quite close enough, you might like to. Be a little bit easier now than later on. There we go. And then just center it on the middle and give a little splob. And there, if you give that the time, will be your little bat buddy. So you can make a whole menagerie of different creatures. If you like dogs, they're pretty easy to figure out as well. And just having a little look with our little cat feet one. Happy, all right. Well, we'll just give that bit of a trim around the back. Should have done that earlier. That's all right. So you can do this with any cardboard that you have lying around the house. The more challenges you have finding different things, the more fun your results can be. With this one, you can use a bit of the old glue stick. If you've got one of those in your school pencil case. And just some glue around the bottom there. Plenty of that. See, I'm dabbing it and getting nice big globs in there. Because if you can't have too much glue, well, you can, but use plenty of glue. And we'll just center that. And there he is. If you want to get a bit of a pipe cleaner tail in there, you could do that as well. Or any other number of things, depending on how you want them to look. And I'd love to see all different kinds of places that you could build for your little pets to hide out in. But there's just a couple of little ideas for some of the things you might like to do with your spare loo rolls when you're finished with them, now that we've all got plenty of those again. So I hope you enjoyed that little fun craft. And I'm looking forward to seeing what sort of ones different folks make. Hope to see you soon. All right, bye.